It takes 2 days for the storm to blow itself out, leaving us with drifts higher than my head. Another day before the path is cleared from Victor's village to the square. During this time, I helped Gale apply a snow coat to my cheek, try to remember everything I can about the uprising in District 8, in case it helps us. The swelling in my face goes down, leaving me with an itchy, healing wound and a very black eye. But still, the first chance I get, I call PETA to see if he wants to go into town with me. We rouse Hamish and drag him along with us. He complains, but not as much as usual. We all know we need to discuss what happened and can't be anywhere as dangerous as our homes in Victor Village. In fact, we wait until the village is well behind us to even speak. I spend time studying the 10-foot walls of snow piled up on either side of the narrow path that has been cleared, wondering if they will collapse in on us. Finally, Hamish breaks the silence. "So we're all heading off into the great unknown, are we?" he asks me. "No," I say, "not anymore." "Worked out the flaws in that plan, did ya, sweetheart?" he says. "Any new ideas?" "I want to start an uprising," I say. Hamish just laughs. Not even a mean laugh, which is more troubling. It shows he can't even take me seriously. "Well, I want a drink. You let me know how that works out for you, though," he says. "Then what's your plan?" I spit back at him. "My plan is to make sure everything is just perfect for your wedding," Hamish says. "I called and rescheduled the photo shoot without giving too many details." "You don't even have a phone," I say. "Effie had to fix that. Do you know she asked me if I'd like to give you away? And I told her the sooner the better." "Hey, Mitch." I can hear the pleading creeping into my voice. Katniss, it won't work. We shut up as the team of men with shovels pass us by, headed out to Victor Village. Maybe they can do something about those 10-foot walls. By the time we're out of earshot, the square's too close. We step into it and all come to a stop instantaneously. Nothing much will have happened during the blizzard. That's what PETA and I agreed. But we couldn't have been more wrong. The square has been transformed. Huge banners with the seal of Panem hangs off the roof of the Justice Building. Peacekeepers in pristine white uniforms march on a cleanly swept cobblestone. Along the rooftops, more of them occupy nests of machine guns. Most unnerving is the line of new construction, an official whipping post, several stockades, and gallows set up at the center of the square. "Thread's a quick worker," says Hamish. Some streets away from the square, I see a blaze flare up. None of us has to say it. It can only be the hob going up in smoke. I think of Greasy Say, Ripper, all my friends who made their living there. "Hamish, you don't think anyone's still in?" I couldn't finish the sentence. "Nah, they're smarter than that. You'd be too, if you'd been around longer. Well, I better go see how much rubbing alcohol the apothecary can spare." He trudges off across the square, and I look at PETA. What's he want that for? Then I realize the answer. "We can't let him drink it. He'll kill himself. or at very least go blind. I've got some white liquor put away at home. Me too. Maybe that will hold him until Ripper finds a way to be back in business, says Peeta. I'll need to check in on my family. I'll go see Hazel. I'm worried now. I thought she'd be on our doorstep the moment the snow cleared, but there's been no sign of her. I'll go too. Drop by the bakery on my way home, he says. Thanks. I'm suddenly very scared of what I might find. The streets are almost deserted, which would not be so unusual at this time of day if people were at the mines, kids at school. But they're not. I see faces peeking out at us from doorways, through cracks in shutters. An uprising, I'm thinking. What an idiot I am. There's an inherent flaw in the plan that both Gail and I were too blind to see. An uprising requires breaking the law, thwarting authority. We've done that our whole lives, or our families have. Poaching, trading on the black market, mocking the Capitol in the woods. But for most people in District 12, a trip to buy something on the Hob would be too risky. And I expect them to assemble in a square with bricks and torches? Even the sight of Peeta and me is enough to make people pull their children away from the windows and draw the curtains tightly. We find Hazel in her house nursing a very sick Posy. I recognize the measles spots. I can't leave her, she says. I knew Gail would be in the best possible hands. Of course, I say. He's much better. My mother says he'll be back in the mines in a couple of weeks. May not be open until then anyway, says Hazel. Word is they're closed until further notice. She gives a nervous glance at her empty washtub. You closed down too? I ask. Not officially, says Hazel. But everybody's afraid to use me now. Maybe it's the snow, says Peeta. No, Rory made a quick rounds this morning. Nothing to wash, apparently, she says. Rory wraps his arms around Hazel. We'll be all right. I take a handful of money from my pocket and lay it on the table. Mother will send something for Posy. When we're outside, I turn to Peeta. You go on back. I want to walk by the Hob. I'll go with you, he says. No. I've dragged you into enough trouble, I tell him. And avoiding a stroll by the Hob, that's going to fix things for me? He smiles and takes my hand. Together we wind through the streets of the seam until we reach the burning building. They haven't even bothered to leave peacekeepers around it. They know no one will try to save it. The heat from the flames melts the surrounding snow, and a black trickle runs across my toes. It's all the coal dust from the old days, I say. It was in every crack and crevice, grown into the floorboards. It's amazing this place didn't go up before. I want to check on Greasy Say. Not today, Katniss. I don't think we'll be helping anyone by dropping in on them, he says.